Hello everybody, it's Miss Darling in the studio, and I have a helper, and this is Popcorn. Can you say hello? Popcorn. Popcorn is one of the little babies that my daughter Swoop had fostered, and she and I sort of took to each other, and so I've decided to adopt her. I have 3 other cats. They're much older, and a couple of them are ill and need special care. But I thought it would be nice to have a little Popcorn running around. When I was young, my very first cat that I called my own was all black, and her name was Boo Boo. And so Popcorn is all black and reminds me a lot of growing up with Boo Boo. So she's here. I think she's going to stay for a while, so I'm going to have to work around her, and we'll do the best we can. Today I'm going to be dealing with making these wonderful little covers that can be used in a multiple of ways. Here's a couple that I have done already, and I'll show you how I did these. And I started with a mailer. You know, you probably get these in the mail. They're kind of a rigid cardstock, and they fold in half. Here's a larger one that folds in half, and that's what I used for the inside of this. And that is very similar to this that I made some while ago, long before I started making videos. I took one of those, and it had a flap on it, and so I covered the front, I covered the back, just with a myriad of stuff, and I covered the inside and the flap, and attached these coffee dyed papers to it. And then over here, I don't remember now whether this flap was attached or whether I added a flap, but I put this little closure on it, and you open it up, and I put another little tiny journalette inside of that. And so you can see how crazy they are. They're very fun to make. There are no rules. Let's get this kind of going back here. This is a self-closure that I made for it, and usually you can close it a lot easier than I'm doing right now. Anyway, so that gives you an idea. I put a little dangle on the bottom of this, and it was just a lot of fun to make. No particular big idea behind it, just a way to recycle some of this junk mail that we get all the time. Instead of throwing it out, try to redecorate it and make it useful and fun. Use them as gifts, and you can easily put some journal pages inside. You could put some pockets and stuck ephemera in, and be a nice place to organize stuff of your own, or it would make a lovely, very inexpensive gift that someone else would treasure. And so let's make a couple of these and have some fun. So we'll start with the smaller of the two to begin with, and I need to work around my assistant here, who has decided to take even more space, and so we'll just have to make do. And let me get a bit organized here. What I've taken some pages out of this is a French, it's not a dictionary, I don't know exactly what it is, but anyway, it's very old. The pages are very nicely patinaed for me. And so I'm going to use some of this, and then this is from another large book, some sort of history book. It's not quite as old. This was probably printed in the early 1900s, and I think this is in the 1800s. So we're going to use some of that. And I also purchased at a antique store. Let me put that away. This book of sheet music, which is lovely. There's been some writing in it, some notes, and just wonderful vintage. Oh my goodness, I just love it when people have written in it and it's been well used and loved, and imagine the beautiful music that came out of being able to play something like this. Anyway, we're going to use some of this, and I also have some coffee dyed doilies here, which will probably fit in here and there, and just some other ephemera that I happen to have around. So I'm going to tear off one page of this. I really like using the music sheet, and I'm going to use a glue stick. And by the way, now's a good time to drop down and give the video a like and put in a comment or ask a question. I would appreciate that. I need my catalog here so I can glue stuff. And like I said earlier, there's no rhyme or reason to this. In fact, the less planning you do, the better off it turns out, I think. And so I'm just going to take my metal straight edge and do a little tearing. The pages are so old, it is very easy to tear, but I don't want to cover the whole thing with the sheet music. We're only going to do, in fact, I think we'll do kind of a rough tear on it. Something like that. But that's going to be an oversheet. I'm going to start with some text on the bottom. I don't mind having some places with just the bare page showing, but I don't like to do too much of it. Some is nice, gives you a place to then perhaps add, or decide to add something on top of it, extra decoration. But if you put too much of it in, I think it becomes rather boring. So we'll take off some of that. And it's a little wider than my card. I'm going to open this up, and I think we'll just kind of glue it down that way. I think I can glue right on here without using my catalog on this at this point. How are you all today? I hope you're doing well and fine and being creative as you want to be. I guess popcorn has decided to sleep through all of this. I have bored her already. Be sure and visit my Etsy shop and look at the resources I have there. Also, the description box below the video will always have some links to some valuable tools or products that I use and have in my videos. So we got that, and maybe I'll drop in a little bit of more of the music down here at the bottom. I'm purposefully keeping these very neutral so that I am free to come back later and add whatever ephemera I want as focal points and bring in a little bit of color that way, but keeping my background very neutral. All right, and let's see. I have this very old book paper. The older it gets, the more fragile it is, and tearing it becomes, you have to be more careful. See, I might not need to use a full sheet at this point. I think I have, oh, not quite wide enough. Well, let's see, what else have we got here? We can tear off some of this so we don't waste it. I think we can pop this down here. A little bit of this. Okay, that's pretty good for that side. And now let's just flip her over and maybe use a little more of this on the reverse side. Oh dear, where's my straight edge? Have you seen my straight edge? Popcorn? Let me move you up here a bit. Your legs keep falling off. Okay. Where did my straight edge go? Here it is in my lap. Kind of take off this border. I don't throw these away, by the way. I keep them for other usages. See how easily they tear? Very easy to tear. And you have to be very careful, but it's one of the reasons why I use a glue stick instead of wet glue. It's really important to get your glue on everything. You don't have, hopefully, pockets where air will get in and cause it to bubble. So I kind of go down a little extra on the edges, pulling away from the edge. Okay, I got a really good, almost perfect cut there when we tore it. And so then let's maybe put a little music on the other side. That'll drop in there nicely. So I always try to check both sides to see which one I would like better. And I'm going to put this down because I love this red pencil marking that somebody did to help them practice or play. Little reminder notes. This was a real find. Okay, see how easy that was? And now just need to, I didn't get that quite perfect there on the edge. I'll trim that off. And I've got some more trimming to do right here. Now what I'm going to do is take some of my black and white washi tape and I'm going to drop a little of that down to jazz up some of the places where nothing's going on. I will need my blade. It's important when you put down washi tape that you burnish it, preferably with a tool. Some of the tapes don't have real strong adhesive and are prone to lift up, so just that bit of heads up. And let's see, I think maybe we'll go sideways. Do we want some over here? Have a nice day. I don't want it to throw out a message. I do need to cover over this edge down here, so maybe we'll drop in a little bit of this down here. I'm not thinking about composition at this point. I'm just concerned with coverage and not having any places that are boring. Okay, maybe I want to put a little up here. I don't think I want to use that one. Well, I think that'll be it for the washi tape on this particular card. I don't know what to call it. It's a folded over card. Okay. Now what? See if I have any interesting things. Okay, now I have some, this is all red and brown. Let's look at some these are washi floral stickers. You can get them in black and white like this, and also in color. Semi-transparent. I think that's probably going to be the inside, and this is the outside. Okay, Popcorn has left us, gone back to her lair, and so now I'm just finishing up. I'm looking at some ideas for further embellishment, and since I've got those red markings on the paper, I think I will add some additional red, and that will be my accent color. I just have a lot everywhere. A lot of stuff everywhere. I think I'm leaning toward adding some black now. Some real strong black. And going real dramatic with it all. Especially back here. Do I want to do that? I think we need to go across. I think I would rather have some sort of representational ephemera there. Maybe ideally something that's red and black. If not red and black, then at least red. Put some red in it. I like that, even though it's really not red and we're introducing some yellow. I think I'm okay with that. Unless I find something else I like better. No, you know what? I like that. I like the L shape. I like the design of it. And it's just the right size. And you know what? There's two of them. I thought it was all one, and it isn't. They're two separate ones. But happy accident, because I wouldn't have thought of it on my own. So is that what I really want to do? Now that I have the option of not using a yellow flower, I think that's what we're going to do. I like how the thicker foliage at the bottom covers over the stem of the other plant. See here? I think I like something kind of covering that over. And just put it right at an angle like that. Okay, now for consistency, let's think about adding something also to the inside. Okay, maybe I'm just going to use one and then do something different up here. You don't want it to get too predictable. And so I'm doing a little something, but not at all similar to the front, other than color, some red. All right. And so I think I might do something like this. Maybe a little too much white there, so we'll take that down a bit. Get some triangulation going. Well, I think we're only going to have time to do the one in this video. I'll save the larger one for another time. And yeah, here we go. Oh, just one more thing. Need to finish off the edges. I think I will sew around this as well. Put another dimension onto it that way. I always like to do the folded areas. I think that's a good idea. And so, yeah, I'll be back after I do some sewing.